Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the Drive, baby!
The Drive Guys, Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles. It's drive time with the Drive Guys.
Yeah, just a short drive today. We got Anthony keeping us on the air. Alan Stiles, you excited about game night coming up top of the hour? I know we just got started. We're with you for an hour here. Then we got game night coming up. The Knicks and the Kings tonight. I'll tell you one thing, whether you're excited or not, Alan, the Kings are not going to sneak up on the Knicks tonight.
I don't think so. No Malik, no Levine. I know when the Kings won, what was that, a couple weeks ago, there was no Domantas Sabonis. So, and the Knicks did lose Jalen Brunson. Thing might even out a little bit, but I feel as if I was joking with Matt George and Kayla Anderson on the way out. I think the Knicks are going to smell blood in the water, and it's going to be some get back tonight.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else, blood in the water. I misunderstood you.
Well, I was. But that conversation is not for the air. Not yet. Not yet.
3 reasons I think the Kings have no chance to sneak up on the Knicks. One is the Knicks. They've won their last 2, but they're all of a sudden in a scramble now to stay out of the play-in in the East. It's a big game for them. You have the fact, of course, that the Kings just beat them, as you pointed out, and then you've got potential grudge match for both sides.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny because it almost feels like the first game was a feel-out game, right? Hey, we only play each other twice a year. Is this going to be some type of little rivalry-esque just based on the connection that we have there? And I think the conversation ended with it being yes. And obviously, Precious Achiuwa, there wasn't a lot of venom. He was having fun with his former teammates, but he was trying to get after them. And I think the Kings, they had an opportunity once Jalen Brunson went down in the first quarter. I think the Kings were already hyper-focused, by the way. And I've been on record saying I thought the Kings were going to win either way. So if you're on the Knicks side, this is just an opportunity for them to continue to get right. Like you said, every time I look up, the Sixers are losing a close game. Like every single time. They're always losing a close game, and they lose a close one to the Knicks, 112-109. You get Jalen Brunson back into the fold. All their main guys feels like they're back into the fold. Even though, Whitey, there are, and I see we got to double check because Karl-Anthony Towns only played 16 minutes. But even though, Whitey, some conversations going on with Karl-Anthony Towns, and he's the big trade conversation and what's happening with him and Mike Brown. Here's the problem with this whole maybe mini rivalry, is there any blood in the water type of deal. It's kind of hard to do that when you might not be riding for your coach, right? The Knicks might not be riding for Mike Brown the same way the Kings are riding for Doug Christie right now. Well, so you never know. That's
one of the interesting things about this, presuming that there is something of an edge from the Kings standpoint. Maybe some of the guys, depending on what they know about how long they're going to be here, maybe they're like, I'm just not worth that effort either. I don't feel that strongly about it either. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think they do. I think we're going to see a concerted effort, but that's one of the things that makes this a little more interesting than a game between these two teams probably should be at this point of the season.
Yeah, well, the other thing is, to that point about the Kings, you took care of business at home, right? So I don't think there's any quote-unquote pressure on the Knicks, but you're playing in the Garden, right? You already lost to this team. It's one thing to lose to the Kings in Sacramento. I just don't think they have, even if they're not riding for Mike Brown like that, I just think they have enough pride to say,
oh, I do too.
Yeah, we can't let these guys get us in the Garden.
But let's face it, this is juicy. This is kind of rumor mongering, however you want to phrase it. But and I know you mentioned this. I mean, how is Domas going to play tonight?
Yeah.
You know how he's going to play, but I mean, is he going to have a little extra something?
He is. Malik out tonight. No Zach LaVine. No Malik Monk. But Malik had a little extra venom when they played in that first game. He almost I think he got one tech. He almost got ejected, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe that Domantas Sabonis, who has already kind of been on a tear, relatively speaking, to the minutes that he's playing, he's going to have a little something. Mm-hmm. He's going to have a little something. For whatever the reason may be, he's going to have a little something tonight for his former coach and a team that we know has championship aspirations. And the Kings, they have number 1 pick in the draft aspirations.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. As far as the trade deadline goes, it's approaching. Of course, there's lots of noise now about Giannis. That's going to be ongoing for a long time. Maybe nothing happens this deadline, and then it's going to go into the summer. Giannis. But I know, because I follow you on social media, you're starting to say, hey, nothing's going to happen at the deadline. Why are you feeling that way?
Yeah, it just seems like we might be losing the plot a little bit. And one person that was on this very, very early, possibly even before they brought in Scott Perry, was Sean Cunningham of KCRA. And Sean Cunningham, his whole conversation was, you get to 2027, right? The summer of 2027, Zach LaVine's off the books. I think at that point, Sabonis is an expiring contract. Malik is an expiring contract. So that was the big time frame early on. Once you brought in Scott Perry, that plot got lost a little bit because everybody was getting goo goo gaga googly eyes to say, oh, we're gonna flip this thing upside down. And I do believe that Scott Perry had those intentions. And then he called and he tried to figure out what the value is on these players, and it didn't sound like it's very good. So now Scott Perry might be thinking, okay, well, not necessarily is it going to be a situation where we have to wait to do everything in 2027, but as things kind of reveal themselves and the contracts, I know we went back and forth last week about the value. I was thinking about this in the car driving in. It's not necessarily about the value that we were arguing. It's just the ability to move them, and even though you might get less value for Domantas Sabonis once another year is off his contract because you have less control, it might be easier to just move him, period. So I don't know where Scott Perry is putting the value in getting a lot of draft capital back. I think he's just willing to wait this thing out, and as time moves forward, you might not get the same type of value, the Desmond Bane package, but teams might be more willing to work with you because there's less money on their books. So I think he is in a position now where he called around, he tried, right? I don't know how hard or how hard or how soft he tried. I don't know. I believe that he tried, and I believe that a lot of people, what we do know, that people are not trying to put a lot of money on their books right now, and they got a bunch of 3-year contracts and contracts with 3 years left. So he made some calls and thought, you know what? We're losing. Priority number one, we're still losing. When that stops, we'll see what else we can do. So that's kind of how I view this whole thing and why I think that maybe Scott Perry is saying, I'm not giving up draft capital. I'm not doing any of this. We're about a year away from this stuff and a lot of these names looking more appetizing. You'd have DeMar, his contract's not guaranteed. You'd have Zach LaVine, he'd essentially be done or expiring. Sabonis would only have 2 years left. Malik is now down to 2 years. So as much as people don't want to hear it, the reality is there are just a lot more options once this season ends.
I think if that's the case, if we get to a point where it's apparent to the Kings that we're not going to be able to do anything, I think we're going to hear rumblings of that because there's going to be a backlash to that. So I think that if it gets to the point where they feel, ooh, we're not going to do anything, we're not going to be able to, I think we're going to hear leaking to that effect. I think it's going to behoove them to let people know, you know what, we're kind of stuck here. And they know who to tell that to make sure it gets out there. We're not there yet. I think DeMar ain't going anywhere. It's possible. LaVine ain't going anywhere, but I still think there's a possibility, especially with Toronto, that's a bonus. It's unlikely, but I think there's a possibility he moves.
Yeah.
The Pirtle thing is like, I was looking at that today. There's no way you want any part of him.
No.
He's broken down.
Yes. And the other thing is, too, it also comes down to what exactly you're trying to get back. And I wonder when you say word will get out, and a lot of people think that's what's happening now. I promise whoever was reading my tweets today, I'm not in cahoots with any other media I didn't talk to any other media members. This is just what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. And the reality is they're losing games. And that's priority number one right now. But a lot of people are already starting, Whitey, to kind of make some jokes about the Kings and Scott Perry versus Vivek saying, or Scott Perry versus Monty McNair saying, there's all this talk about you were going to make moves. And now we're almost to the trade deadline. Nobody's going to make moves. Scott Perry never said he was going to make moves this season.
Right.
He said that. We know what he said. He said the same thing 50,000 times. Prudent, opportunistic, and defensive-oriented.
I don't recall that one. But it was definitely implied.
Yes.
My fear is that one of the reasons they may trade Keon is because, well, we got to trade somebody.
Yeah, do something.
But I know if you get protected first back for him, I think that would be a win.
Yeah.
But I just hope they're not in a position where, well, we got to trade somebody, and this is the guy that other teams want. We probably won't miss him that much. I hope they don't trade him just because they have to trade somebody.
But he's the one guy that people don't want to trade, so I don't know why they would feel that type of pressure. I don't know why they would feel would feel the type of pressure to move.
The reason they may is because, again, if they don't do anything, like you say, there's going to be people marching on Golden One with torches and pitchforks.
What if, hold on, and I know this is going to tick off a different set of people, but what if you just go back to the well that I've been saying and you say, hey, we couldn't move anyone. We tried. Because of that, we are going to have to waive Russell Westbrook, and that is going to open up some things. Do you think Kings fans, obviously they wouldn't be thrilled.
That's a good idea.
You don't think? Okay, well, I'm running out of options here.
That's like, it's a little more dreary than we thought. And we're going to, for those of you who enjoy watching Russ, one of the reasons you come out,
okay,
he's gone as
But let me give you
well.
two options. What would you prefer? What do you think Kings fans would prefer? That conversation or trading Keon for 2 seconds? You get a first. I think the answer is obviously, hey, you got a first rounder for Keon, undrafted guy. If you can't get a first, and because you sound a little bit more desperate, right? So Keon for 2 seconds or waive Russell Westbrook. What do you think fans would prefer?
I think waiving Russ is a tough thing to do right now.
That is not good.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good position to be in.
Mm-hmm. Now I understand what you're trying to be very prudent, but you're serving a couple of different masters here. That's part of what makes this so complicated, and trying to show people, look, there's still reasons to come out. We just gave away the Russell Westbrook trading card, and he continues to climb in the record books and the statistical standings. But you know what? He's gone. So anyway, come on out.
But here's Devin Carter.
It's a tough sell.
Here's Devin.
Again.
What? Now here's Devin.
It's a tough sell. That's all I'm saying.
But what if Nique balls out? Because here's the other thing about the rising stars, right? We had a conversation about Maxime, and a lot of people would say that Maxime never should have been in this situation because Domantas Sabonis, if he doesn't get injured, he doesn't get that time. So I'm looking at this thinking you could have had maybe more guys in the mix for these types of situations that give you hope more so than Russ. Russ is just entertaining you. He's not giving you hope. So if you do waive Russ, and it's probably too far gone, but let's say Nique Clifford ends up on the back end of some right. He's on the rookie ladder because he's playing way more now, handling the basketball. He's doing all this stuff. I think that people might be able to get over the fact that you're not watching Russ in losses.
Sure, but I think
know.
you can do both. And I think you even tweeted something to that effect today. You can keep Russ, which is, all about giving people a little sugar this year. Mm-hmm. And I think you can still play Nique more. And I think we're seeing that now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's not just about Nique, though. Everybody can play more.
The thing is, if you were going to release Russ, then why did you bring him here in the first place?
Well, that all makes sense to me, though. You brought him in thinking they were going to be some surprise team, the Raptors, the Suns, and they weren't. Okay, so goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I thought we were going to need you. We don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need you unless.
And you're just realizing that now?
No, but you wanted to see. No. You wanted to see if you could move some guys via trade. I'd like to keep Russ, but if I can't move Malik and I can't move Dennis Schroeder and I can't move DeMar DeRozan, he's the easiest one to move.
Mm-hmm.
Cut whoever you want. I don't give a bleep. Just cut somebody.
There's some crazy stuff out there, too, which doesn't relate directly to Russ, but some of it, I'm not even going to mention, but there's some crazy stuff out there.
Well, you can't say that.
Well, I'll say it because I don't think it's true, but I just saw something. There's been talks about Malik for Kuzma, and I don't think that's accurate.
Well, I know that there was a conversation about the same thing that we had been hearing, Zach LaVine,
right,
and then Bobby Portis and Kuzma.
I know.
But
I know,
specifically Malik for
Kuzma.
Kuzma.
Like it was going
saying.
anywhere. Yes. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's talk to Sal on Sactown Sports. Hey, Sal, what's up?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. Hey, first off, that anybody that ever thought to win more than 24 games this year had no idea that no idea about team basketball or the concept of having a mindset of winning from the very top, starting with the ownership. You got a bunch of ball stoppers that don't play defense and don't want to be here. They've already said they don't want to be here. Why they signed Schroeder so fast or Schrader so fast was kind of turns out to be one of the biggest mistakes that the Kings organization did. And then they compounded that by getting Westbrook. Westbrook, it's a knock to our intelligence as a basketball fan first, and then a Kings fan second, and maybe an NBA fan later on down the road, to say that we need Westbrook for some sugar. That doesn't make any sense. We're still at the same spot that we were in the beginning of the season. We don't know. We haven't done a proper evaluation of the team. Why don't we go to youth movement? Why don't we go to the concept of playing some defense and playing hard? That's what everybody wants, just playing hard. If they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. Go with the full-on youth movement. Let go Westbrook. Bring Schrader or Levine. You can't trade Levine. We're stuck. We're in a holding pattern for a year or more. Bring these guys off the bench. We don't owe these people anything. They're employees. If you have to motivate your employee, then your business model is not working. So it starts from the top.
All right, Sal.
And I'm sorry. I've been a Kings fan since, 87?
No need to apologize.
We've been in a transition.
Yeah.
We've been in a transition since we traded Mitch Richmond.
Yes.
Come on, man. How can Vivek be the man who saved the Kings and simultaneously destroyed an organization also?
Thank you, Sal, for checking in. Look,
Wow.
I'm not saying that Westbrook being here is a good idea, but all the reasons they brought him here still apply. So I'm just saying I don't think they're going to do that. And Sal is a very cogent observer, keen observer of basketball. I don't think every fan feels the way he does about Westbrook. That's all I'm saying. So don't start giving me the roundup like, I told you.
I love Sal. But Whitey,
I do too.
No, but Whitey, look at this, though.
And I was okay with Schroeder coming in. Schrader was the one I didn't really want.
Well, neither of them. Oh, never mind, man. Look at this. 3 different numbers. 3 different numbers just when I bring up Russell Westbrook, okay? 916, release Westbrook, please. 916, hey, Russ, don't let the door hit you. Another 916, it's Louis bringing up whether or not he's a decent trade piece, and we talked about this yesterday. Just don't know that a lot of teams want the full Russell Westbrook experience. You know, Russ and myself are very similar.
Really?
Right? You can't really just get a piece of Allen. Right? It's not really a part-time deal. If you got me with this mic on, you're getting the whole experience. Some people like that. Some people don't. Russell Westbrook, you can't have him in playing 10 minutes here, 12 minutes there. You can't have that, Whitey. If you're signing up for Russ, you get the full experience. And a lot of people, just like a lot of people might not need the full Allen experience, they don't want the full Russ experience.
Okay, I'm in an awkward spot here because I'm not crazy about the fact that they brought Westbrook in. So now it's difficult to argue with you without making it sound like I'm saying, no, you need him here. All I'm saying is all the reasons they brought him here still apply, so I would be surprised if they release him. That's what I'm saying.
And we had Sal, passionate, from the 80s, talking about Mitch Richmond.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there might be somebody else that's ready to call in and ride for Mr. Westbrook. That's all I'm saying. And we'd love to hear from you. That's all I want to know, Whitey.
What is it you want to know now?
I just want to hear somebody ride for Westbrook to say, I want the sugar. I want the sugar.
Pneumatic says Russ is great, but not what the team needs. Hard to just release him, though. We saw what happened when Chris Paul got sent home.
No, that's different. That's different. That Chris Paul, that was a completely different situation.
Well, here's the thing, and by the way, things are really bleak if that's what we're arguing about is whether, will Russ getting released, does that make things better?
You're not wrong.
It's very bleak.
You're not wrong.
Very bleak. But if you bring him in saying all the things you've said about him as the front office and the coaches have, and, he's great, he sets the tone for our young players, and as you continue to celebrate when he sets these records and scales, the statistical landmarks, and then you're going to, we're letting him go. It's not a great look. Basketball-wise, I get it, But the bottom line is there are many more important things for them to figure out and deal with.
They can't do anything else.
Okay, then why, if you do that, you're not accomplishing anything and you make yourself look like, yeah, we brought in Russ, but we don't really know what
I think you do accomplish something. I think you give more time to some of these other guys.
Which guys? Because Nique Clifford, there's time for him now. And that's really the only one that matters.
Look.
I hate arguing.
No.
You need to
we're
keep
giving
Russ.
We're giving up.
You.
They've given up on Keon. Okay, I don't know who they is.
I'm assuming he's going to be gone.
Yeah, I don't know who they is. So to your point, okay, who do they actually care about from what we've seen? I don't know if Scott Perry initially fully cared about Dylan Cardwell like that, but Dylan Cardwell has played himself into a position that a lot of people are very happy with, specifically Doug Christie. Mm-hmm. So you have Nique Clifford, who's getting his time, and he's not even really fighting with Keon or anybody. He's just getting his time because Keon is not getting any time. So you got Nique, right? Mm-hmm. You have Dylan, and you have Maxime. So those are the only three that I believe the organization cares about under the age of 25.
And I think that you can play them and still play Russ.
And that's where we're at right now. I think
that's where they are.
Yeah, and maybe that's where we're at right now. I still think it's a bad look. I still think that you can play these guys even more. And I still think the idea of finishing the season with Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, and Malik Monk is kind of a nightmare. That's just how I feel about it.
From Pride 72, with the contract Russ is on, the leadership he brings, the experience/mentorship he has with the young guys, how can you just waive him, Styles? I added that part. The guy is a 100% value meal.
Yeah, he is. He is, but the other problem, no. Yeah, you got the value meal, but the problem is you got a bunch of other meals on the bench that are stuffing you up.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
That's the problem.
Keon.
Just
which
Keon.
It looks like they're going to do.
Right, because Keon is the guy. So your point is Keon is the guy out of the rotation. They don't care about Keon. They don't care about Keon enough. So once you move him, all you have is those three, and they'll all be playing.
Yeah, my point is I think you're right. You need to play those three, and they seem to be dedicated to playing those three. And whether Russ is here or not, I think those three.
Yeah. Well, by the way, just throwing in Devin Carter, who they also don't care about, by the way. So those two guys, they don't care about. So just like Saban said, I ain't going to answer, so don't ask, right? And that's why maybe Dave didn't want to just ask about Devin because he knew there's no point to ask about. So why do you ask about Devin and Keon? Let's just lump them together. They're both going to be gone anyway.
Yeah. I will say this, though. The guy you didn't mention who can kind of gum things up is Schroeder.
Get him out. It's not a Russ thing. Cut Schroeder. It's not my money. It's not my...
Cut Schroeder?
Do whatever. My point is there's just too many. There's just too many of the same guys.
Okay. I don't think cutting Schroeder's a viable option.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
My point is that this isn't a Russ thing. He's the easiest option to move off of. One of those three got to go. And I don't want it to be the pizza guy. Mm-hmm. It could be Schroeder. You trade him for somebody expiring. I don't give a bleep. Yeah. I don't. Mm-hmm. It's not a Russ thing.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
I like Russ.
Yeah. Whether Russ is here or not, it's like there's many more important things they got to deal with. And it's going to take them long. I wonder what's going to happen first. They're going to build a championship roster, or Dave is ever going to get his deck built. I don't know which one is going to happen first.
Well, I'm sure Dave will just go live stream for one of the shows while he builds the deck. That's 4 hours.
That's
right
happening
there.
First?
Yeah, that's happening right there. 4 hours. Yeah, there was somebody, 916 is saying buy out DeMar. The conversation about buying out DeMar, I think, becomes obviously a bigger one after the trade deadline, but it's something to where DeMar, you're still on the hook. So DeMar wouldn't necessarily, because
you wouldn't accept it. It would cost him money to accept the buyout.
Yes, exactly. So it's not that simple.
Yeah,
it's not that simple.
Right.
Why DeMar would say, "Okay, here," because he'd be giving up money that he is owed in January.
Goose Goslin told you that, right?
Yossi Goslin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I call him Goose.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get him back on.
He's the one that pointed that out.
Yes.
Like, with his contract, it's not a good financial idea for for DeMar.
Oh, here we go
for
again.
DeMar, it's not a good idea for DeMar to go, all right, let's do that.
Yeah, let me give
him money.
Yes, buying out is a player giving up money.
Mm-hmm. Can we stop caring about what the hell the lead talks about and make trade and business moves that's better for your team, even if it seems crazy? That's TC.
it takes two to tango.
Thank you, Scott Perry.
It does. And look, I am not trying to be, this is we got the game because we are the home of your Sacramento Kings. But this has never been Homer radio with me. It's just the reality of the conversations that I've had. My phone's been ringing incessantly. The conversations that I've been having as time moves forward, there will be more options. Y'all know I want to trade.
That's an interesting point you raise. But even if you were a Homer radio, we're not here. But even if you were, how positive a spin could you put on this particular situation right now? The Kings have a lot of players they'd rather not have on the roster right now. Mm-hmm. They're trying to move them, and basically for a lot of reasons, they're talented players, but no one wants them.
Right.
That's the reality.
Yes.
So they're stuck.
Yes, the Homer radio is they're stuck, but at least the guys that the Kings care about. Now, we can have separate arguments about whether or not they should care about Keon and whether or not they should care about Devin. But the Homer radio would be, doesn't matter what we care about, the guys that they care about are playing and they're losing. So the two main things to get out of this season, losing games and getting their young guys ready, they are accomplishing those two things right now.
You were really comfortable sliding into the Homer radio thing.
No, I can slide in and out.
Fit like a glove, didn't it?
Whitey. Woo! I'll do the breaststroke, the backstroke. I'm in and I'm out. But it's not about that. I would still say that I disagree with them bringing in those guards, and I disagree with them undervaluing Keon. That's non-Homer radio. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, there's a little bit of both.
Who has a tougher job right now? All that considered, Doug Christie or Scott Perry? We'll bat that around when we come back. Drive, guys. Sactown Sports.
The 10th Annual Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration is Thursday, February 5th at the Golden One Center, inducting the class of 2026, plus honoring all of our past inductees. See Sacramento's 50 greatest athletes of all time.
This is Bill Cartwright.
This is Jerry Royster.
This is Tony the Tiger Lopez.
This is Dusty Baker, proud member of the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame. Join us Thursday, February the 5th at the Golden One Center for Sacramento's best sports night of the year.
Get your tickets now at SacSportsHOF.com.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
If you're serious about your golf game, then you need to know about Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Whether it's the TrackMan-powered player performance studio for your best fit clubs, or the cutting-edge technology putter fitting studio, or the free Ballnamic ball fitter and 3D foot scanner, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop offers you total game fitting from head to toe with equipment and apparel. Find your advantage at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop with the latest offering of new golf products in Northern California. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes. Upgrade and save today at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Top of the hour, it's game night. The Kings against the Knicks. The only two, well, I guess you got to throw in the hockey team. The only teams in professional sports used to be the only ones with nicknames that started with the letter K, but now you have the Knights as well, Alan. Yeah. Here's what the smartest YouTube viewers are saying. We have Dynamic Butterfly Sabonis is who they should be shopping the hardest. Logical Raptors fanatic. To be honest, Domas is overpaid. Pride says, Pride 72, DeMar deserves so much better, but huge props to him for being a professional and doing his job. He doesn't just pout and put in what looks to be an occasional effort like one of our other vets. That's a shot at you-know-who.
Wow.
Zachary.
Yeah. The whole, should we have known this thing? And, there are reports that there was the Hawks over the summer with Levine, and then there was the Bucks. Should we have known maybe this was coming when the Devlin Carter thing happened? I know we kind of glossed over it. Mm-hmm. Not that we glossed over it, but we said, people are, games aren't being won and that type of happens.
Who's Devlin Carter?
The whole thing with the whole him calling out Zach LaVine, and he was walking out.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes,
and we did talk about it.
Yes.
But
my apologies.
It was. There's no official Zach LaVine wants out or anything like that. But it just seems like it's a undertone that is just permeating kind of under the surface. But there's nothing anybody can do because somebody's got to want to take the contract.
Yeah,
somebody that the Kings would want as well.
It doesn't help when a coach and or front office makes it clear that they're not happy with a player.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but when you have a coach or a front office and they talk about a player in less than flattering terms, typically you expect, I remember this is kind of what Kyle Shanahan did sometimes with some of his quarterbacks. When he would talk about a player a certain way, you can't blame fans for going, oh man, if the coach is saying that, then get rid of him.
Right.
High flyer joining us, Henry Turner. How you doing? You getting ready for Kings and Knicks?
Oh, yeah, excited.
Yeah. Why do you think fans are so down on Zach LaVine? Some of it his fault?
Oh, a lot of it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, when you watch guys play out there on the floor, do you watch body language? Body language says it all.
Mm-hmm.
Body language says it all. That's one reason I was listening to you guys as I was driving up. That's one reason why a lot of fans, they're Westbrook fans. Because, whether you like Russ or not, good, bad, or indifferent, you never question that dude's wanting to win. Mm-hmm. You never question that. You never look out there. I don't care if he come down and throw the ball away 4 times in a row, which he does. You don't question, do he want to win or not?
Yeah, and I do think I'll be honest, I wasn't sure why they brought him here. But given where everything is right now, I think with the team being where they are, and we've seen some of the, you look around and say, wow, there's not as many people. I think there's value in having that on this team right now.
Both of you guys are right. Both of you guys are right. I see what you're saying, and I see what Whitey's saying. Mm-hmm. But we have to look at the whole thing as a totality. Number one, when the Kings first brought Russ here, they wanted to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they looked at what we had at that starting position, and it didn't work. Schroeder played horrible when he started.
He got off to a really bad start.
Right?
Yeah.
They just told Malik Monk, we're not starting you. You going to the bench. Right. And then what? You going to start DC? No, you're not. So they brought Russell Westbrook in. Now, Russ has been the most solid thing that we've had at the point guard position starting. Whenever you put Schroeder in that starting position, he fades away. He goes somewhere else. And like I said, we refuse to start Malik Monk. So now you talk about we need to make a move, right? If you want to win, make a move and want to win, you have to keep Russell. He's the best thing we got at the point. Mm-hmm. Now, if you finally say you want to go my man way, okay, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. We're going to the youth movement, right? You get rid of Russ. You play all the young guys. You sit Russ down. You sit Zach down. You try to trade Schroeder as much as you possibly can, and you play all the young guys.
Sure.
But you can't cry about how ugly it's going to look because you're going to lose.
Yeah. Right. But Allen wasn't saying just sit him down. Allen's saying get rid of him.
Well, sit him down or get rid of him.
I don't know.
Thing.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what looks worse.
Hey, it's the same thing. If Allen said get rid of him, he's gone. He's not on the floor. Mm-hmm. Whether he sits down, he's still not on the floor. Mm-hmm. The thing about it is that if you want to win, you keep Russ. Yeah. If you don't want to win and you want to develop the young players, you get rid of him.
Well, the other side of that, you don't want to win because you're hoping to improve your lottery odds.
Yeah, I don't even. You know what? My mindset don't even go there, fellas.
I understand.
know that, but
that's the reality.
I understand. That's what I said.
Yeah,
the organization has to come to an agreement and said, okay, where do we want to go? Yeah, because at a certain point, Alan, at the end of the day, how long are you going to sit here and say, okay, we can revive this thing? We can revive this thing. We can revive this thing. Dude, the mule ain't even kicking no more.
Yeah.
You know, how many times you going to try to resuscitate it?
Right. Yeah, you don't even need the paddles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep the ambulance.
The one thing I will say, which is probably why they could keep Russ and why we're in a position right now, is because Nique can play the point, but they really don't have, if Devin is not your guy and you know, the idea of Keon not really being a point guard, the reality is they don't really have a backup, or they don't have a young point guard that Russ is holding back. I'd like to see Nique handle the ball more, but it's not as if he is holding back a young point. They don't have one on the team, really.
And let me ask you this. Do you think Nique's a point guard? No. Has he come in this league as a point guard? So why would you want to change this dude and try to make him one? You always put your players in the best possible position to succeed. Now, I love the kid, and I'd love to see him at the 2 and at the 3. I think he's very good at those two positions.
Yeah.
So why are you going to put extra on him saying it's hard enough coming in as a rookie?
Yeah.
To get indoctrinated to the NBA.
Point guard's probably the hardest position.
Tell me about it. That's what I'm saying. Right. So why are you going to try to change this guy into something he's not? You're right. We don't have a point guard that Russell is holding up because, like you said, I don't know what they're going to do with DC. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but as you can tell, a decision has already been made on him. Mm-hmm. So that's why Russ still holds that position.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, though, is, and we talked to Scott Perry on Media Day, I think that throughout the process of, if you go back to Summer League and everything that happened before the season started, I think that there are some people that maybe I didn't think Nique was a point guard, but Scott Perry had said, we think that he can handle the rock. We think that he can do some things. So I think what's interesting, High Flyer, is the line between, we could go back to Keon on this, the line between keeping somebody comfortable and somebody also improving as a player and adding to their game as well.
I agree with you. And I was one of the major ones who said, as soon as I saw this dude make a couple of passes, said it to Whitey, I said, ooh, that was Tyrese Halliburton-ish, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, just because you can handle the basketball doesn't constitute you as being a point guard.
Right. And
Sabonis handles the ball too.
Yeah.
But he's not a point.
Right. There are some really good teams that have a lot of guys that are really good passers.
At handling the ball, right.
Yeah.
But they're not points.
Right.
So I'm like this. Like I said, if you're in the league and you're solidified, you know what you do, you know how you play, you know how the style you need to play. This is a young point guard that we're just bringing, young guard, we're just bringing into the league. We've seen it done time and time again. We've seen it with Jimmer.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've seen it with Jimmer. We've seen it with some of these other players to where they bring them in here. We've seen it with Nick Stalkers. We saw it time and time again.
You remember Travis Mays?
Travis Mays, exactly. We've seen it time and time again to where they have brought scoring guards in, a la DC, scoring guards in and say, okay, we need you to facilitate and be a facilitating point guard. Well, that's not what got him here.
Yeah.
And now you want to change it.
Doesn't work out a lot either.
It doesn't work out.
They tried the same thing, different regime, but that was the whole thing with Summer League. Last Summer League, it was the Keon. We're going to let Keon run point, and that kind of.
And I think, too, I think they were really more just trying to get him to improve his handle.
Right.
Maybe not necessarily make him a point, but why do you think they're out on Keon?
That I don't know. I have no idea. You know what?
Maybe it's just because so many teams want him.
I'm not going to look at it in a negative type situation. I'm looking at it as a positive type situation. If you look on our roster right now, how many guys you would think another team is going to call and say, I want that guy?
Maybe him.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think he's their number one option as far as at the end of the day, who can we move?
Yeah.
You better not get hurt.
Right.
You better not get hurt. You better put him over there, sit him down, treat him with kid gloves because this is our last-ditch effort to make something happen.
That's why literally they had him all wrapped up. Just come into the game and it'd take him 5 minutes to get all his wrappings off.
You know, I mean,
had him in the bubble wrap.
But you know, this is our team. We love this team. But at the end of the day, right now, we are at a crossroads to where they're going to have to make a decision what they want to do. I mean, you can't keep saying we want to win and rolling out this same, product on the floor.
We'll come back, take a look at who has a tougher job right now. Doug Christie or Scott Perry. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
This is Bill Cartwright. Join us Thursday, February 5th at the Golden One Center for the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration.
Hey there, Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Time for our weekly travel tip, and with it, here's Mark.
I know people who will pay up to Economy Plus or Comfort Plus on a plane, not for the extra space, but for the fact they are more likely to get the overhead space they need for the steamer trunk that is their carry-on item. Have you seen this one yet? Someone boards in the overhead bin at their seat is full, so they put their bag in another bin near their seat, only to be berated by another traveler who says, "You can't put your bag there, that's my space." Actually, no, it isn't. The truth is, no one is guaranteed overhead space in the bins. If you're one of the last to board, it's perfectly okay to snag a space for your bag in a bin closer to the front. One last comment. I suggest the airlines enforce carry-on bag sizes at the gate. If they did that, all of this carry-on commotion would instantly go away.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here at Sactown Sports 1140.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Hagen Oaks knows you can buy a driver off the shelf anywhere, but Hagen Oaks is the only place where you'll find total game fitting. The Hagen Oaks TrackMan-powered player performance studio fits clubs to your swing. Ping's Ballnamic Ball Fitter finds your optimum golf ball. The putter fitting studio makes you a better putter, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds your correct fit. In fact, Hagen Oaks will fit you from head to toe with equipment and apparel to make you the player you want to be. It's total game fitting, and it's only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, what's happening for the Start Something New sales event?
If you're struggling to find the heavy-duty Ram you need, you'll find it at Hoblet. Plus, right now you can save up to $12,500 off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 2500 and 3500s, starting as low as $46,995.
Well, what makes Hoblet the best place to get a new Ram truck?
It's simple. We are truck people and have the truck you want at the best prices. We have over 400 new Rams available, one of the best selections of new Rams in all of California. Unlike the other guys that only have a handful of heavy-duty Rams, we have hundreds. If you need a heavy-duty Ram, Hoblet has it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$12,500 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie after $3,500 factory rebates and $9,000 Hoblet discounts. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory cash on select inventory, $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. 5 of this net savings, $46,995 for 2026 Ram 2500 Tradesman. VIN number 190143. See dealer for details.
Join Sactown Sports downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally Towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
The name of Rob Dillingham popping up in the YouTube chat. I know he came up on the morning show today. I don't know where you are now with Rob Dillingham, Alan, the High Flyer joining us as well. I'll just say this. I'm out on Rob Dillingham.
I'm not out for the right. We had this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not out for the right price.
His name, it keeps coming up.
Yeah, we were just having a conversation about ones and twos. I mean, and 30 pounds here or there. That dude is small, man.
Yeah.
Not even height wise, just smaller in general. But the conversation that I would have about him when I say the price tag is if it's some type of deal. If you're already been shopping Malik. Some type of deal where Malik is on the way out and maybe it's Malik and, I don't know, DC, something like that, and you would get back whoever the Timberwolves feel comfortable moving and Rob Dillingham. But I'm not doing much more. It's a flyer.
Yeah.
It is a flyer at this point.
Yeah, but to me, and Jerry Reynolds said this, if you have a team that they trade up to get a guy because they have a need, because Mike Conley's a point guard and they know that he's not going to be around much longer, let's trade up, get this guy. We want this guy. They get him, they bring him in, and 2 years there, they don't play him, then he ain't it.
Because
that's a team that wanted him desperately to be it.
They brought Bones Highland.
Yeah.
They brought Bones Highland out.
Bones did some good things last night.
Yeah.
I think they lost.
No, but they couldn't, he wasn't on the floor that much for the Clippers a couple years back, but they're still playing Mike Conley. Think about it like this. They had to move Dante DiVincenzo to the point guard, right? And the other name that we had compared to Rob was Reed Shepherd. Well, Reed Shepherd is a sophomore in the Rising Stars game. You know who we haven't talked about? I know the money wasn't great in Houston, but remember that whole thing when Keon was going to go to Houston and they had to go get a point guard because what's Reed Shepherd going to do? Reed Shepherd has played well, and those were the two guys that were kind of being compared against each other. I know Reed went third and Rob went about eighth, but even still, Reed took that jump, and Rob has not. But I would still get him for the right price.
High Flyer, is this a grudge match tonight on both sides? The
Oh
Knicks and the
yeah,
Kings?
oh yeah,
Still?
no doubt.
Yeah.
You know what? Mike Brown took hits after that Sacramento loss.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the New York media had a field day on him, about how he came to California and came back to Sacramento and thought he was on vacation. And, they went out and played golf and drank wine and partied and all of that and then got smacked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be a situation now to where and it wasn't that long. They haven't forgot.
Right.
When the Kings walk on the floor, Mike Brown's going to be looking for blood.
Yeah. And maybe some of the Kings players still have a little something to prove. And
they might too.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Alan? I want to tell you this. I'm in the back seat, bro. I'm part of the drive, guys. He drives. You in shotgun. I'm in the back seat. I know my place.
There's always a place for you.
There's always a place for you.
Yeah.
I always say I'm in the back seat, bro.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect tonight. I would assume the line is probably 12.5, something crazy like that. No Levine. no Malik, I think that it's probably set up for the Knicks to just take care of business.
Well, it's a huge game for them because, to Henry's point, there's been a lot of pressure on them. And James Dolan just came out publicly, did an interview. He doesn't do a lot of them, and he said, we need to win. We have to win. 13.5, Anthony? That's the line.
13.5?
That's what, Ellen? What's the word for that?
It's a little disrespectful. It actually isn't that disrespectful because no Malik and Levine. So I won't say it's disrespectful, but
I mean, when you talk about no Malik, no Levine, that's a good.
It actually isn't that bad. It actually isn't that bad.
I mean, you have to replace, at the bottom end, you're going to have to replace 30 points.
Yeah. It's not that bad, to be honest with you.
And keep it real, fellas. Our bench has been playing great, but Malik was a huge part of that. So how are you going to replace 30 points?
Yeah. Real quick, I know.
The problem is you could get some of those back at the other end, but the Kings can't do that.
No.
We don't need to score that many if we limit how many they score, and the Kings are not capable of that.
I know we're almost done doing the showcase thing, and that's me. You and I, we love the showcase thing. Everyone says showcases don't matter.
Yeah.
But come on, Whitey. For 2 seconds here, to all the people that we've talked to, the Matt Georges, all of them, you close your eyes, Domantas Sabonis, they win the game, Domantas Sabonis triple-double. You telling me nobody's talking about that today? You telling me that doesn't matter?
Here's a debate that we've had.
In the Garden.
And Alan and I agree on this, Henry. I don't know how you feel. There's two sides to this. One side is, the Kings sometimes maybe that the lineup changes because they're showcasing certain guys for other teams that may have interest in them. There's another school of thought, which I think comes from some scouts who say, scouts know all these guys. You can't showcase anybody because we already know what they can do. But I do think there are certain instances with this team where maybe the Kings feel like, this is a situation where we can showcase a guy. Does that, whether the Kings do it or not, does that go on?
It does go on, but what you have to understand, if you look at our specific roster, you don't have to showcase Domas. I'm sorry. He is who he is. They didn't see him run up and down the floor. That's all they got to see him do.
Yeah.
Domas is Domas.
His knee is good.
Hey,
yeah.
From here to Kalamazoo, they know what that man brings.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to say showcase somebody, all of a sudden, if you start feeding the ball into Petrulia, that's a showcase. All of a sudden, like you said, if let's say if you start playing Keon big time minutes,
right?
You showcase them. All of a sudden, Devin Carter is coming off the bench and getting 20 plus minutes.
Yeah,
you're showcasing them. You showing people that they can play. We're gonna move on, but they can still play.
Right. Keon, 25 tonight in the Garden. Come on, that's that first rounder. That's that. End of first rounder.
I honestly feel like if I wanted to trade Keon, and we wish they wouldn't, but if they're gonna, after the game he had in the last game with the deadline as close as it is, unless I'm so shorthanded because of injury, I gotta play him. I would say, Keon, sit down.
So it's a wrap.
Because he showed everybody if there was any doubt, because this year he hasn't been great.
Okay.
His minutes have been erratic. In the last game, I think we saw that. He's still Keon.
But,
so if I wanted to trade him, I wouldn't feel necessarily like I needed to keep playing.
Let me ask you guys this, and we're going to go a step higher. With that being said, do you think that's been conveyed over to Keon?
Based on the conversation that I had with Malik Monk on Media Day and how
that was a long time ago now.
I know, but he said, hey, nobody has been this transparent with me as a GM.
Okay.
Right? So based on that.
He said it was spelled out. Everything was spelled out.
He said Scott Perry literally told me, my agent and I everything. Based on that, I would say yes. But I don't know if Keon's getting the same kind of vet treatment as Malik.
Because I say this. Now, that's the way it should be done. That's the way it should be done. But we all know that when you had that conversation, the record was 0-0. You look at that record now, some things have changed, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm saying.
Yeah. I would like to think Keon has been made aware, but I
would
really
too.
don't know.
I would too. I really would too, because
that doesn't mean he likes it, but
no.
He knows.
Oh, believe me, you don't have to like it. This is a business.
Yeah.
But I would hope that they're talking to him, letting him know what's going on, because that's the worst thing in the world when you're sitting on the bench, and you're like, what the hell is going on? You know you're supposed to be playing, but then all of a sudden, it's always there. Okay, well, they're moving me, right? And then that's tough. But at the end of the day, this young man has done everything Sacramento has asked him to do. He came in. He was a free agent. Went down to the G League,
And
played
he's
his butt off in the G
exceeded
League.
expectations.
Went to the summer league, played his butt off in the summer league. When you wanted to move De'Aaron Fox, you moved him into the starting lineup, and he played well for you. He at least deserved, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is our future. We're going in another direction.
Yeah, he may be the only one they're able to move. I still am surprised if they are not able to move Malik, and we'll find out. Maybe there's more interest in what's being reported. I think he'd be a really good fit for you. Could tick off 2 or 3 teams that's like, ooh, he would help them.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I still don't know that. I know it seems like it's a big commitment. When you put all the money together for Malik's years, it does sound different than 18 a year. It does. I mean, like 46. I'm like, oh, that is hefty. But I still think season's almost over. You would get 2 more years. And like we talked about, he helps you this season. Then there's only 2 more years of him, and you keep him if you want, or maybe somebody else can use his microwave offense. So we'll see.
All right, Alan. We're back at it tomorrow.
Full one for you.
Full one. And now we take you to a game night with the High Flyer. And I don't know who you're on with today. Do you know who you're on with today?
Have no idea.
All right, we'll find out.
I'm here.
Yeah. Game night is next. Get ready for the Kings and the Knicks on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back,